tutorial video for the most detailed section of the series, the Day in Scalp. Let's begin without delay. The Day in Scalp page contains elements from other pages, so let's first explain each of the other pages one by one. We'll occasionally return to the Day in Scalp page as we go along. Our first page is Trade Logs, where our detailed trading journal resides. The upper part of the page contains analytics sections, while our basic trading journal is located at the bottom. It's a classic table with its own dedicated tabs, each serving a different aspect of your trading activities. Let's walk through an example of how to enter a trade into the table. You can use the New button just below the table, thereby all new entries are automatically tagged according to that tab's customized filters, or you can use the New Trade button in the top left corner of the table. In this way, as you add trades and the table grows longer, you won't need to scroll to the bottom of the page. Now, after adding the sort number, a pre-made in-page layout will pop up at the bottom of the page, and you'll see that the date and time values are automatically entered. The next thing we'll do is enter the trade variables. We've seen where the accounts come from, and in the next video, you'll see the others in detail. So, we have added the account, market, ticker, direction, setup, time frame, risk, and session details of our trade. In the table below, you can see the entry side details. The table has 3 more tabs, which we'll look at in order. So, let's enter the details of our trade. First, entry price level, stop loss level, and target price level. Thus, we've determined our trade levels. Now it's time to enter the quantity column or size of the position, you may say. As you may have noticed, after entering these values, the risked amount was automatically calculated. It shows the currency amount you would lose if the price reaches the stop-loss level before you exit the position. And the RR target shows the R you would gain if the price reaches the target level. Afterwards, you can also enter the fee you paid. Sometimes you might be drawing directly on charts and taking notes in TradingView. Don't forget to paste the TradingView chart image that you think best summarizes that trade into this area. We'll see why this is important in a later video. If you have a quick note you want to jot down, you can write it in the area below, or you can write it in this area as well. And on the far right, there are fields for additional information: leverage, margin, and volume of the trade. And again, here is the space for you to paste your chart images sequentially to track the price movement. And there's an extra notes section for each phase of the trade: entry, exit, and review notes. By using this new Note button, you will have time-stamped that moment. You can continue writing your notes afterward. This way, you will be able to track and analyze your thought processes more easily while reviewing. What about the other tabs in the table at the top? Let's check the Setup Execution tab. You see some rules columns, but they seem to be empty. These are defined on the Analytics page. For now, let's change our setup to another one for which we have already written the rules. Let me make a small adjustment. That's better. Now we can see all the details of our rules. Here, you can check the rules of the setup that you followed before and during the trade. If you look to the far right of the table, you'll notice that after each check, the plan execution rate changes based on the number of rules you filled out for that setup. Afterwards, we'll be able to track the details of this in the Analytics page specifically prepared for plan execution. Before moving on to the other tabs, there are other details I want to show. We need to go back to the previous page for that. You can see that all the details of the trade we just added are now at the bottom of the table. However, you may have noticed a change in the upper area of the table. This section allows you to track your current open positions and review certain details created to assist you in managing your positions. The trade number 10 that we recently added is still open. we see that the current market price is 0. In the field just to the right, we can manually enter the current market price for our open positions. Remember that you can automate this and find necessary assistance in the template's instructions section. So, based on that current price value, we can now check other details as well: unrealized profit, unrealized R, and evolving R. Evolving R simply gives you the new risk amount based on the current price value, indicating that due to the movement of the price, you no longer have the initial risk amount you started with. After this brief but important open positions overview, let's complete our trade and thereby proceed to see the other tabs. Here is our next tab, Exit Side. The table consists of 3 stages of exit levels. Profit is determined separately for each level, and the total P&L of the position and the returned R amount are calculated accordingly. Let's say we took some profit at a specified price level. You immediately see the current P&L and the gained R amount. It's calculated right away. The same applies to the open position section. If you recall, before taking any profits from the position, we saw an unrealized profit of $400. When we exited half of the position, it immediately showed us the new amount. The same applies to the other details as well. It's a dynamic card view that changes based on the position's status. Let's proceed with entering the exit details of the trade. When we completely exit the position, we can see that the quantity left property is 0. Let's see if there are any changes in the open positions. As you can see, we've completely closed the position, and we currently don't have any other open positions. So, we can now take a look at the next tab we've prepared for the post-trade stage, which is the Review tab. As experienced traders know, keeping track of how close the price gets to your stop-loss and target levels, also known as drawdown and updraw levels, during each trade can help sharpen your edge and provide valuable insights for your setups. For example, if we enter a trade at 130 and the price drops to 128 before reaching our target, this gives us a 20% drawdown level. The accumulation of such data for each trade in an analytics pool can provide average drawdown and updraw levels for your setups over time. For instance, if a trade setup rarely experiences drawdown levels exceeding 5%, it might prompt consideration to refine the strategy by tightening the stop-loss. Following the table, you'll find properties where you can write the reasons for exiting a trade and indicate how accurate those reasons were. And another property allows you to enter the reason for closing a trade at a loss, known as the error property. In the next videos of the template, you will see that these entered variables and values will be presented to us in separate analytics pages later on, allowing us to gain a comprehensive overview. And the final property displays the holding time, which is the duration between our entry and exit times. Pressing the Set Exit Date button automatically records the current date and time as your exit date in the system. Subsequently, the table calculates the holding time based on these timestamps. Once all the review tasks are completed, you can check and mark the review property, then remove that trade from the Review tab in the Logs page. And thus, all tasks related to that trade are completed. And now we can move on to the next part. The left section contains your monthly trade performance summary, while the right section tracks your monthly balance status. In the other tab of the right table, you can also use the monthly goal tracker feature if you wish. Enter your initial capital and set your goal. The table will take care of the rest. And finally, Our Quick Action button allows you to enter your trades without scrolling to the bottom of the page. And thus, we've come to the end of this page and therefore the video. In the next video, we'll explore the Analytics page and part of the Day and Scalp page. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your feedback in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.